Hi everyone, I'm Monday Sensei. In this video, I'm going to show you how to give an effective presentation in English. Are you ready? Let's go. In this video, you're going to learn how to give a short presentation in English. We're going to practice giving a presentation on the topic of famous places. First, you'll learn how to structure your presentation in a way that's clear and easy for your audience to understand. Then, you'll learn how to use clear and easily understandable signposting language. You'll practice giving both fact and opinion in your presentation. You'll see how I plan my own presentation on the topic. And finally, you'll see me give a demo of a presentation. At the end, I'll give you a link for some free downloadable resources, so stick around. So let's talk about how to structure the presentation. First, we're going to introduce the topic. Then, we're going to talk about some of the positives or good things about the topic. Next, we're going to talk about some of the negatives or bad things. And finally, we're going to give a summary of our thoughts and feelings about the topic. One of the best ways to make our presentations easy to understand for the audience is to use clear signposting language. Let's look at some now. Let's look at some useful signposting language to help guide the audience through our presentation. First, to introduce a topic, I might say, I'd like to talk about, and then the name of the topic. I'd like to talk about. Next, first of all, let's look at the positives. Then, I'd also like to talk about some of the negatives. Finally, when we give the summary for our presentation, we can use a phrase such as in summary. When giving our presentation, we're going to be using both fact and opinion. Let's look at the differences between them and some useful language to help us use them. First, let's look at facts. So these are things which are true for everybody and which do not change. They include things such as names, ages, dates, and locations. Next, we're going to use opinions. These are personal judgments, not always based on fact, and may be different for each person. Let's look at some examples. An example of using a fact might be to say, it is called, and then the name. Or, it is age, years old. For example, it is 10 years old. Examples of using opinions might use words such as I think. So I think, noun, the name of the object, is really adjective. Is really cool, great, fantastic, etc. Or another useful phrase, in my opinion, it is a adjective noun. It is a beautiful car. Okay, so here's an example presentation that I've prepared. You'll see at the top I put an image of the presentation topic to get the audience's attention. To begin, I'm going to use a signposting language for introducing a topic. So, I'd like to talk about. Next, I'm going to give some background information. These are facts about the topic. So, useful phrase, it's located in city, then country. It's located in Siem Reap, Cambodia. It was built in, and then the date. It was built in the early 12th century. And finally, some details about the temple. This temple has. This temple has 3 large towers and is surrounded by a moat. Next, I'm going to be giving some opinions, both positive opinions and negatives. First, the signposting language to introduce the next part of my presentation. I'd like to begin by focusing on some of the good points. Language for giving opinion. I personally feel that this is one of the most beautiful and impressive temples in the world. Next, negative opinion. Signposting language. However, I would also like to highlight some bad points. Phrase for giving opinion. In my opinion. In my opinion, it is difficult to view all of the temples because there are so many. It would take a long time to see them all. Finally, in the summary of my presentation, signposting language, to conclude, Angkor Wat is a famous temple that I think everybody should try and visit in their lifetime. I'd like to talk about a famous temple called Angkor Wat. It's located in Siem Reap, Cambodia. It was built in the 12th century. This temple has 3 large towers and is surrounded by a moat. I'd like to begin by focusing on some of the good points. I personally feel that this is one of the most beautiful and impressive temples in the world. However, I would also highlight some bad points. In my opinion, it's difficult to view all of the temples because there are so many. It would take a long time to see them all. To conclude, Angkor Wat is a famous temple that I think everyone should try and visit in their lifetime. To help you practice preparing your own presentations on your own topics, I've created a free Google document which you can download using the links below. I hope you find it useful. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. Please like, comment and subscribe below, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.